there. This is the best time to ask questions. Last year my boy was in, this year's in P1. I regretted that I didn't attend such seminar. I could have asked more questions. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. I have a child who's learning abacus through a private education center. So I wonder how will abacus learning now, and when she goes to P1, when she learns maths, how is it good, or should I continue her on the abacus learning, or should stop before P1?
Okay, we don't teach abacus in school. In the past, it was pretty popular, but it's just that the mode of counting is quite different. But they also go by place value. So if your child do learn abacus, it will not be confusing because abacus also go by place value. In primary 1, they learn place value, the ones, the tens, and the carrying over. So it's all right. If your child enjoy learning abacus, go ahead. It won't confuse them because, like I said, the method of doing placement, that means the ones, the hundreds, the ones, the tens, the hundreds are the same.
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I was just wondering, when I look at the exhibitions outside, I was also mentioned at various places that to kind of find a primary school that we think would suit the child based on his/her interests. So if we identify certain areas that we think the kids are more interested in, how do we then find out what are the schools that are likely to kind of be stronger in those areas, other than to go booth by booth and ask, or kind of like go every website of the particular school? And I noticed that different schools have different kind of details in their website. So is there a central depository, or is there kind of an easier way to essentially find out, which are the schools that are stronger in the areas that, the kid may naturally be inclined towards? Thank you.
We would like to advise you to choose a school that is near your home because really distance matters. If a child has to travel such a long distance to go to his school, especially he is so young, he will feel very tired by the time he reaches school. And then he has to stay for at least 5 hours, right? And then by the time he goes home, he will be very tired too. So there is no central depository where we have this kind of information. You're right in saying that you can go through the websites to check what the school's focus is. You can also go to the school's open house. Schools nowadays, many schools organize open houses, all right, for you to come and find out what are the programs and what programs in the school are. You can talk to the school leaders, you can talk to the teachers, you can ask the pupils. That's another way. You can also email the school if you want to know on certain areas, right? Because if you think your child is interested in music, so you want to go to a school where the music program is very robust and rigorous, so you want your child's talent to be developed further. So that's possible. Nowadays, schools also have niches, all right, schools niche. So for instance, Springdale is still very young, about only 2 years old. Yeah, okay. My school is about 15 years old, so we have developed niches. So like my school's niche is on brass band and music curriculum and the aesthetics. And then another niche of my school is on creative and thinking skills. So we publicize this on our website. So if there are pupils living around my school, all right, the parents, and they want their children to be taking up music, or you want the child to go into all this creative thinking, so you probably will want to put your child in my school. So a school near mine has a niche in the arts as well. So if you think that is where you want your child to be in, you want to put your child there. Okay? So we do publicize these niches.
Hello. Oh, I just wanted to check on the year-end orientation. Is it that every school has it? And maybe around which time of the year, end of the year, beginning of December?
All schools would have P1 orientation, okay? Except like for my school is around end November. Mine is also the last day of term 4, so that's November. November period. That means before you break off, because you probably need to get your textbooks, the uniform, and stuff like that. Yeah, some schools have it the last week of December. So it's always either end. They won't do it in the middle because probably you're all overseas. Yeah. So it's always okay, if you know the school term, so it's somewhere around mid-November, that period of time, and then ends in December.
Hi, I got a question. Because currently right now in preschool and kindergarten, right, the student to teacher ratio is actually small. So how do you actually bridge this when they actually transit to primary school? And is there anything for us as parents that we can assist in this transition? Thank you.
The ratio now in kindergarten is about 1 to 20, is it? Is it around there? 16 to 20? Most, I think not more than 20.
Ours is actually 2 to 10. Like 2 teachers to 10. Yeah,
Oh, that's really very unique. Okay, so in primary school, for primary 1 and 2, the ratio is 30 to 1 teacher. Okay, 30 pupils to 1 teacher, that's the maximum. Sometimes some classes are smaller, so you may get less than 30. All right, if you're talking about bridging, I think the child has to understand that when he goes to formal schooling, it is not like in the kindergarten where he can just get up and say, I want to go to my play corner. I want to go and talk to my friend. You know that when during the first day of school, we get our pupils, when they come in, they will say, why do I have to stay so long? My goodness, is it time to go home? Cannot go home yet. Then they ask again, cannot go home yet? Because kindergarten is like 2 hours, right? Ours is 5 hours. They say, huh? Still cannot go home. I want to go and eat. I said, no, not time to eat. Cannot eat now, cannot do everything. So it will be good. Like for instance, in our school, we have the kindergarten immersion program. So what we do is we invite pupils from the kindergartens nearby to come, and we have a structured program over 3 days so that they can have an idea. Okay. Then for my school, I have the Start It Right program. On the first day of school, all parents get to stay in the school the whole day like the children. Because you know why? You tend to play hide and seek with us. We don't allow you to stay because you're so concerned for your children. We tell you, now you can go home. You say, okay. Then we turn around the corner, you're there. Okay? We say, I thought you were supposed to go home. We turn around this corner, you're also there. So you're playing hide and seek with us. You know, that was how it happened. Then my teachers and I, we got together. We say, hi, since they want to come and be with their children, let them be. So that will allay the fear. So we let the children, the parents come and we tell the parents, please take leave on the first day because you're going to be with your child the whole day. So you know what your child is doing, you know how difficult it is for the teacher who have 30 to 1. So what we do is that some schools, some of us, we do have allied educators. These are teachers who actually support, these are teachers who support our own mainstream teachers. So sometimes we can put them in the classroom also to help some of these teachers who have 30 children, because when they come to the school, they are so new, they need a lot of help. So if you're talking about bridging, I think you have to share with your children what formal schooling is like. All right? I cannot just get up. If I want something, I need the teacher's attention. And then when I want to eat, there's time to eat. When it's time to go to the toilet, what must I do? So it is quite different. So share that, please. Share as much as you can. And if there's an opportunity for the child to come during open house, or you know, if the kindergarten is arranging a visit to a primary school, I hope you can find some time to join your child, because usually the schools will allow parents to come, and then that is where they will learn. If they come home and they tell you, it's different, then you tell them, yes, it is different, because now you are big, you're now in primary 1, right? So we always try to give the child enough time to adjust, to change. They need a lot, at least about 1 month, sometimes even to adjust. So we will definitely help them to bridge also when they are already in school. So don't worry, all right? And when you talk about the learning, not to worry. It is not because of the class size that you think learning is effective. There are many ways for learning to be effective. You're talking about engaging teaching methods. All right? There's been a lot of research and literature out there. It is not the class size that matters, you know. It is the teacher that makes a difference. So it is not, of course, in the primary school, the preschool, we understand the children are still very young. So we need more teachers to be there, because we have to even take them to the toilet, help them, you know, to clean themselves and so on. But as they grow bigger and they come into formal schooling, to us, we in school, we know It's the teachers who make the difference. So we do our part as school leaders to ensure that our teachers have used engaging teaching methods to make sure learning is effective in the classroom. Would you like to add? Okay, so far like what Madam Rashidah said, the kids takes about a month before they settle in. So parents, it's very important that at home you have to reinforce that kind of routine. So for example, most schools we start at 7:30, we end about 1. Okay, so Madam Rashidah's schools is in the afternoon, so it's for about 12:30 to 6. Yeah. So you can see it's about 5.5 to 6 hours. And on certain long days, because of what I mentioned at PAL and some of this program, it will be about 6 hours. So most of them, from what I understand from parents, is that when they go home after lunch, they let them nap for about an hour. Yeah, so it can be very tiring. So give them that 1 month or so to get adjusted. But don't let them nap too long. Because the other problem, no, once they nap too long at night, they can't sleep. Then the next morning, the whole cycle is going to be very tough. Yeah, yeah. So there's only that hour. So that's why I say you have to set a certain routine. And once they get used to it, actually, to be very honest, children adapt very fast. So far, majority of kids have no concern, except like I said, if your child has certain behavioral or learning needs or special needs, it's good to tell the school. I always advise parents, no need to hide. And don't worry, we will not like, oh, this child, no. But rather, then we are prepared to know how to support. And like what Madam Rashidah said, we have allied educators. So classes with such children, we actually have another teacher going to help the child. So some children take a longer time to adapt. It's all right. Don't stress the child out. Yeah, and we also have children who cries. And usually if you look at the mother, the mother is also crying. So I have a parent who I said that, I'm sorry, you really got to manage your emotion because you're affecting her. So, and because this is the only daughter, so she cried, she as the girl cried, she also cried. So, but we noticed when the mom is not around, she stopped crying. So I told the mom, I think you don't appear at all. No, seriously, and our friends stopped crying. No, so sometimes children are anxious because they see you're anxious. Like I said, it reflects, it's a mirror image. And I have this mother so cute, tells me, my child got learning disability, you know. But we look at the child, actually very happy and adapting very well. But we realize the mom's expectation is so high. And we have to manage the mother, not the child. The child is very happy in the classroom, learning very well and interacting very well with the classmates. So we have to actually have counseling session. No, this is not funny, don't laugh. It's real. So sometimes I find that because we are away from school so long, and because, for example, that's probably your first child, so do talk to parents. Sometimes don't set the expectation where in the end it stresses you out. Like I said, when you enjoy, very excited that day, pack the bag, everything get ready, tell your child, wow, the uniform is so smart. When you're excited, your child will feel excited. But when you're anxious, you panic, cannot sleep at night, the child also feels the anxiety. Okay? So parents help us with that because when your child adapts very quickly, like I said, the teachers can also start teaching very quickly.
To what extent we need to prepare the child to be able to read fluently in English or the mother tongue before they jump that
The child may not be very fluent, but I think be able to communicate, especially his needs. For example, basic things like, teacher, may I go to the washroom? But he must know when, for example, he's not feeling well, he must be able to articulate that. Whereas in terms of basic reading, the school will begin that, so not to worry. Yeah. But when I say reading, I meant by, for example, going to a library, it can be picture books. It can be, okay, my time was Ladybird, you know, and my children still also started with that because they have what I call series in terms of the difficulty level. So I start that with my children. Yeah. So, but don't, like I said, parents must be sensitive to know when your child is ready. Don't push when your child is not ready, because then the child becomes averse to it. So when you give the child a book, if he naturally don't pick it up, don't force it. After that, he will start hating that book. So you must be, like I say, spend time with your child, then you know what your child like, and use what he like. Okay, my son started with cars. He loves all sorts of cars. So I start buying books on cars. Really. So we have to see his what he likes, his hobbies and stuff, and then we start moving towards that.
Hi, good afternoon. My wife and I, we have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. So, and a boy and a girl. So, heard some questions about what's a suitable school. So for your child, obviously the boy and girl is going to be different. To what extent should we consider putting them in the same school, be a factor in choosing a school?
Are you thinking of putting your elder one is a boy?
The elder one is a girl.
A girl.
The
Are you
younger
thinking of a girls' school for her? Or a mixed school?
one, in this case, our preference is actually a girls' school, but we are thinking of him too, and we're wondering to what extent should we consider putting siblings together versus separate.
Oh, I see. Okay, most of us, all of us may have a lot of siblings in our school because it makes it easier for registration, isn't it? When your child is there in the school, for the next child goes into phase 1, you don't even have to turn up. Everything has been done for you. You only come for primary 1 orientation and you fill out the forms. If your child is feeling your elder one is older one is feeling very happy in the school, why not put the child? So it has actually no negative impact. In fact, we feel that for our case, most of us also in schools have the buddy program. So I can see that your children are 2 years difference, right? So if one is in primary 3, the other one will be in primary 1, we can actually put your primary 3 sibling to be the buddy of the primary 1 child. And we have done that. And they feel very happy when they see their older sister coming down together and work and go to the canteen together to buy food, or their brother, older brother going down. So I think in fact it can be healthy for the child because he feels that if he needs any help, he has his older sibling to go to, and then the older sibling can also share with him what he has gone through, and then that could also be a kind of support for the younger one. That is provided you want to put the child in a big school. Yeah? But if you prefer to go to one that is like just an all-girls school or all-boys school, then definitely 2 different schools. But we both come from mixed co-ed schools.
Maybe we can.
Maybe I just add on. You probably will think logistic, which is very real. Meaning transporting 2 child in the morning to different schools, it will mean different timing. Then it will mean different sets of uniform, different books. Or worse, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So it will be quite challenging. So most parents that I know of with their siblings like this, they put them all in the same school. So you solve many things. Like what I said, the second child don't even have to worry about P1 registration. So I think you have to think about the logistics, whether you have the resources. Yeah.
Maybe we will just have like 1 or 2 more questions.
Hi, good afternoon. I have some questions with regards to the what teachers actually expect from the kids. As you know, we have a lot of preschools in Singapore which offer maybe similar or maybe even a lot difference between the curriculum of all those preschools. So when the children actually come to the primary one on the first day, actually, I would like to understand like what teachers actually expect from the children. In the sense of like the language that has been asked. So apart from communications, for example, for the language, what teachers actually expect from that the kids can understand, for example, how deep of the language skill that the kids should know, for example, or what kind of books that teachers actually hope the children to be able to read, for example. Thank you.
We don't put any expectations on our children when they come to us. All right, we understand that the curriculum in preschools, maybe the private and MOE run curriculum may be different. But so far for primary schools, the curriculum for primary 1 and 2 have been designed to be closely aligned to the curriculum in preschools. Okay, so when they come into primary 1 and primary 2, it's not going to be something so difficult for them. Okay, so we don't have any expectations on our children. We want them to come on the first week to really be happy to be in school. They must be happy coming to school. So not to worry about expectations also from teachers. Because as they go on with their lessons, then the teachers will be able to understand, okay, well, what are this child's needs, whether it comes to literacy skills or numeracy skills. And you know also that in schools now, we have the learning support program for both English and mathematics. So if a child needs extra help when it comes to literacy skills, he can then join the learning support program for English. Likewise for mathematics, in order to help to level him up okay? Because if he is found to be needing extra help for these two subjects, okay? So not to worry. Don't put expectations on the children and say, you know, when you go to primary school, now it's going to be difficult, all right? It's not going to be like preschool. You have been playing so much in preschool. Now in primary school, I cannot play anymore. Oh, the poor children say, oh, am I going to prison or something? So it is not like that, all right? Because we want them to learn, discover learning through fun ways. So that's where they enjoy it. I think you saw the video, like the kids were just enjoying themselves. And that is over and above other subjects they have, like in art, PE, physical education, music. So besides all that, they're enjoying all those activities organized in PAL. Okay, so tell them you're going to go to school, you're going to make a lot of friends, you're going to have a lot of fun playing. At the same time when you learn, you're going to use iPad, you're going to use smartphone, because that's what we're introducing them in primary school. Of course, all with guidance, yeah? Not just give them an iPad, okay, sit down there and then play with the iPad. It's not like that. So tell them it's going to be a lot of fun. You are learning, but it's through fun and engaging ways. So then they look forward to come to school. But if we worry with them with like, it's going to be difficult, and then you have exams, you make sure you do well for exams, then they go to school, they get so frightened. How are they going to learn? How are they going to enjoy learning? Because when they enjoy being somewhere, you know they're going to learn. But when you force them, they're not going to learn. And then when they have this fear, this anxiety, all the more they can't learn. So learning is going to be a lot of fun in a primary school. Let them enjoy their primary school. When they enjoy primary school, they will enjoy learning for life. Okay? So work with us, all right? Maybe on a concluding note, we say, please, as parents, when you put your children in the school, work together with the school. Work together with the teachers. Come as often as possible and join in the activities. Whenever you are invited, do come. Don't be absent parents. Okay, especially during parent-teacher conferences. That's the time we want to see you. But sometimes we feel very sad because the parents are not able to come, and then the reason could be, I cannot find time or I can't take leave. But we know all these can be done. If you truly want to be a part of your child's education, you must be involved parents and not just leaving it to the school, yeah? Because your support is very critical to us. You want to say something? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for all the questions, and thank you, Mrs. Lee and Madam Rashidah. If you do still have some burning questions that you would like to ask, maybe we can maybe stay just maybe 5 minutes if you want to ask both of them. Meanwhile, before you leave, we would appreciate if you could help us to fill up the evaluation on the card that was given to you when you came in, so that we can have some feedback and learning from this seminar. Okay, we wish you a good journey back or shopping later.